Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
All right, we should be live streaming and definitely a recording. So good morning.
Hey there, rich vibes to you, sister.
Right?
Good to see your face this morning.
So good to be seen. So, it really is. And I do say that with all gratitude to God and the universe that, because we coming on the end of the year and we all know some people didn't make it to the end of the year. Yeah. And so, and that's kind of where I wanted to start today, with just kind of gratitude and everything. And everybody see the little Christmas tree I specifically set up today so we can have a little Christmas ambiance. This is our last show of the year. And so I'm hoping today we can say kind of what we're grateful for in 2024. Then talk about a little bit about what we did great in 2024, but also the things not so great that we know we need to do better in 2025, because I would love for us to talk through that, to encourage other people to talk through it themselves with their friends and colleagues. And so, because I think when you talk through stuff, it just sits different. You're able to just kind of think a little bit differently. One of my only aunt left on my dad's side, she has this saying. She says, "I never go into my own brain by myself." Just because she said it's treacherous, it's
dangerous,
right? It's treacherous. She says all kind of falsities and lies in there, and so that it's just always nice to have somebody else to go to walk that path.
That's good. That's
one of the things, and I need to make sure I tell her that, just because she's my last aunt on my dad's side. So, okay.
Good. God bless her. That's good.
So first of all, how are you? Happy December. Merry Christmas. And then, jump into what worked well in your 2024. What are you grateful for?
Yeah, well, I'm grateful to be here, healthy, alive, and well. And I'm grateful to be here with my friend. I'm visiting my friend, and she is well, and she is healing up and getting where she needs to be so she can do what she got to do out here. And I think for me, I talk so much about mindset. I talk so much about shifting, putting in the work, the inner work that it takes to shift yourself. And I think, and we may have mentioned this a tidbit before, but I am just an optimistic person. It's just how I live. It's who I am. I can't help it. I don't, I'm going to always correct you. I'm going to always make sure you're saying the right thing about you and your life and your surroundings and the people around you, right? But that can also have you stuck as well, because it's levels to it. And for me, because that's just who I am, that's how I see life, period. I had to go deeper in my inner work. And, my prayer was accountability, a next level of accountability and seeing and facing myself, right? And I think 2024 for me has truly been me facing my true self. And, I think you can skate by a lot by, being a nice person, being a sweet person, being a cool person, But what about dealing with you?
That's true.
And your shadow work and your issues and your fears and your doubts and your limited beliefs, right? And I wanted to get past skating on the surface, and I wanted to go deep so that my integrity could be where it needed to be, so that my belief would be where it needed to be, so I could show up for myself like I needed to, because I can show up for somebody else all day long.
Yes.
But when it comes to showing up for me, Natalie, I just was slipping, and I've been slipping on me for years because it was easy. But now when it's time to show up on higher levels, it's like I needed more work. You know? So that's, what I say, for me, the
Yeah.
doing right? You said the doing right part.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it was really facing me.
Wow. Okay. That line you just said, showing up on higher levels, you got to do more work. It's kind of
Hmm.
like if you want to go higher, you got to go deeper. And
Oh
that's,
yeah, if you want to
and
go
that's,
higher, you got to go deeper. For
man.
sure. For
Oh my
sure.
God. That's so good. That is so good. Oh, okay. Okay.
My Wi-Fi is tricky, so I can't. It's not letting me type and take my notes. So I hope
Okay.
just keep the notes tight, honey.
Okay. All right. And I'll say, da, 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 da. Hold on. I'm doing too many things at the time. All right. So for me, for 2024, I think what I did well is my word for 2024 was consistency, and I was more
Mm-hmm.
consistent
Mm-hmm.
than ever before. Now
Mm-hmm.
I fell off like September-ish, so that this last quarter has been
Mm-hmm.
all over for me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
also realized how much emotions play into it for me. And so, really getting the support in place to help me with my emotions to make sure they stay together. But for the most
Yeah.
part, I was real consistent. I was real
Yeah.
consistent. I
You
think I've
were.
been
You were.
more consistent on social media, and that was a
Mm-hmm.
huge thing for me than I ever
Yeah.
have before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so definitely there's improvement, but nevertheless, so I'm real excited and real grateful for that
Yeah.
because I know how important consistency is.
It's
And so
everything.
I'm not, there 100% consistent 100% of the time. But I'm going to say based on this year, I was, 75% consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that. And then next
Yeah.
year I'll shoot for 80, then we'll shoot for 85. And
Yeah.
so then we'll hopefully continue to grow. I think
Yeah.
also I was sitting down yesterday and kind of thinking that about that same thing. Like, what class do I need to take? What course do I need to take? Or just who do I need to follow in
Yeah.
2025 to get me to
Mm-hmm.
that next level to go
Mm-hmm.
deeper?
Yeah.
I went through a period of time in 2024 where I wanted to go deeper into LinkedIn. And so I
Mm-hmm.
started like following everybody and they got a free LinkedIn report. They got a free LinkedIn report and downloading
Mm-hmm.
everything from everybody.
Yeah.
Um, and it was all just like, let me get the information, let me get the information, let me get the information. And now it's like, okay, pick one person,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
master their technique.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to listen to everybody because you'll just confuse yourself.
Yeah.
This person
Yeah.
say post 8 times a day on your head. This person say don't only post 3 times a week. And so you really have to pick a person
Yeah.
and one person and listen to them and get their
Mm-hmm.
way of doing things down pat. Of course, tweak
Mm-hmm.
it to what fits for you. And
Yeah.
so that's something I'm looking forward to is like I'm just gonna pick. I think because I am a little multifaceted as much as I try to keep myself focused. I think I
Mm-hmm.
pick one person per line of business that
Mm-hmm.
I want to do
Okay.
and cut out all the noise. So stop following the other people.
Mm-hmm.
I probably won't jump off anybody's email list, but I'll probably take some people out my feed just because when I see
Yeah.
them, I want to be like, ooh, what they doing? Ooh, what they
Yeah.
doing? Ooh, what they doing?
Yeah.
So that.
That's
So
good.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
So
And
okay.
in that space for me, it was 23 and 22 for me that I was consuming so much information.
Yeah.
I spent so much money and consumed so much information. Then I'm just I'm like, what is it? I ain't where I need to be based off these investments I have made.
There's that part.
So yeah, so part of 24 was me digging deep. And it's almost like I didn't realize that that was what was needing to happen, that I needed not to take not one more thing, not one more course, not
Mm-hmm.
one more nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And like 2025, if I'm not showing up on those stages, I'm not going. If I'm
Gotcha.
not going to vend or to host an MC,
Right.
I'm not going.
Right.
Like I need to be in there networking on
Mm-hmm.
another level,
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like I'm always learning, of course,
Right.
but I'm not going to
It's
take
not
on
that like
anybody
intense
else's
information
course.
consuming. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
what's happening is it really takes you time. Like when you take really intense, long term courses and stuff, it really takes you some
It
years
does.
to get it and learn it because you're evolving through the process. And then,
Yeah.
like you're saying, you're making it your own.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I realized was happening, just taking on so much information and then not implementing it, into my business the way it should have. So that is where I am for 2025. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
implementing
Mm-hmm.
implementation and execution,
Mm-hmm.
period.
Yep. Nope. That makes sense. Let's
Yeah.
see. Do I want to? No. Okay, I got that. So those are going to be your words for 2025: implementation and
And
execution.
execution, yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Mine is still restoration. I felt tired
Mm-hmm.
this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
and so I want to do everything, but I got to do it in a way in which it feels restorative. So there's a way. So I definitely want to do that. I want to increase my capacity,
Mhm.
and I got to figure out how do I increase my capacity and continue to feel restorative. Like, and
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
I don't quite know what that's going to look like. And also in my morning routine, I want a time period in my schedule where one, I'm producing more videos.
Mhm.
So so I need to put that, like I need to hard line in my schedule where I'm producing more
Mhm.
videos.
Yeah.
And two, I have like in my morning routine, I have time for reading, but it's like I just read a page of like I just might read a page of Think and Grow Rich
Mhm. Mhm.
um or something. But I want to put in my schedule a time for flat out studying.
Mhm.
For
Yeah,
like
for
I'm
sure.
really just kind of studying. So I'd like to do that. So
Yeah.
okay, I want to pivot a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So we have been doing this podcast since April of 2023, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. All right. So what do you want for the podcast in 2025? And I'm actually taking notes on that and writing it down.
Okay. So what I want for the podcast is for me, to take the podcast much more serious. You have been doing a labor of love over the podcast. And I want more visibility. And realize like that's a part that I need to take a huge role in that. And with the marketing side of it, pushing it out there, and even understanding the process that you and your team has pushed through, to make it official.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to see more visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and uh, like we said, a little more organization.
Mm-hmm.
Organization. So when we show up, we
Right.
officially introduce ourselves. We need to go ahead and get us an intro, outro, and that's it for me. That visibility and showing up, more for the podcast and putting it out there because
Okay.
I share it a lot. But what you realize is, you can always do more, and the people on my end, which is more Facebook, they're always like, oh, I miss y'all. If we're not there, oh, I miss y'all today. Or, oh, when y'all were talking about such and such, just great feedback, right?
Right.
And it's like just really taking all that more serious because the
Yeah.
people who are giving the feedback, girl, they are consistent and they
Mm-hmm.
listen and they always give like just really intense feedback where they were listening and they were taking
Mm-hmm.
note and they really enjoyed it because I always hear, oh, you and Natalie, oh, good, when y'all talked about such and such, so you cannot take that for granted.
You know what? And let me just say this because this was our brainchild.
Mhm,
But I
mhm.
don't know if I would have ever done it had you not said, okay, Natalie, let's start doing this. So I just want to say
Yeah,
thank you again because I really have
yeah,
enjoyed it. And
yes,
because we've done this,
yeah,
um, and for the people for the people out there, yeah, Sharice was just like, let's just do it. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
let's just do it. And we
yeah,
started doing it, really not knowing, I think, how long it was going to last or
yeah.
like what it would be about or anything, but we just started doing it. And I'm so proud of our consistency in doing this.
Yes.
I'm so proud that I think we've had that. Like, there are a couple of videos that I was like, now that was some good stuff. I gotta go back and get that one. Like, one of them in particularly, I'm gonna go back and make it into a white paper, to a freebie. I think we did like 7 steps to get unstuck. That was a good podcast. So I'm gonna go back and put that. So thank you. Just so thank you for like saying it and getting something out of your mind and making it happen. So thank you so much for that. What I want for us is, so we will just do it. We've just been doing it. To start paying attention to the numbers.
Yes.
Start paying attention to the numbers, and then to actively grow the numbers. And so try to get in. Hold on, let me write this down.
Yeah, take the notes, girl.
As I go. Okay.
No pen or no computer.
I got it. Pay attention. I wanna pay attention to the numbers. Like, I don't know what our numbers are. So like somebody, I was one of the people I followed was like, I have 100 downloads on my podcast. Yeah, you. And I'm like, I don't even know where to find that information about our podcast. We just be doing stuff. So I want to start paying attention to the numbers. I want to be able to say that like that. Let's see. I want to get more consistent in our intro and outro. We just show up and start talking. And so I want us to start saying those stuff like subscribe, download. So name of the podcast. And I think when my social media girl, her name is Q, y'all. I want to bring her on more often. Actually, I want to pass off the podcast to her. Meaning, hopefully, in my head, this is how it'll work. You and I'll come up with like a master list of topics. So like 24 topics each. You come up with 24, I come up with 24. That should give us 54 for the 52 for the year.
So 8.
55. No, we went
24.
We need 26. 26 a piece.
26. Okay.
26 a piece. So come up with, I was probably thinking we don't meet Christmas week and we don't meet Thanksgiving. So 24 would be good. Okay. So anyway, we each come up with 24 topics. Then she can organize them and send us out like a text message saying, okay, this is what y'all are talking about today. And then she will come on and get it started and get it recorded and everything. And so that part is more off my plate. And then because what happens now, if I don't show up, it doesn't happen. And so there's a couple of things like that in my life, and I don't want that not to be the case. And so I want you to be able to show up if I can't show up, and you still be able to talk to your people. That'll give us that little bit more consistency that we don't have now. Like if I'm traveling or on vacation or at a conference or something, that'll give us that more consistency. So that's kind of.
Or even if we had to put up a replay,
Say that. Excellent.
Yeah, just so it's always covered.
Yeah.
Another thing, Natalie, is we need to do an event.
Ooh.
Because we got so many amazing events amongst each other. We need to go ahead and put together our official event for spring.
Okay.
And they can go in so many directions. Like it's a whole conference. So we need to
oh my God,
where we want to start.
Okay.
But I definitely believe it deserves an event.
All right. An event, girl. I'm like, I feel like on Lion King when there was like Mufasa, say it again. Ooh, like event. Ooh, say it again. Let's see. Anything else I want for us? Topic, put up a replay for that increased consistency. I feel like I was thinking about one more thing. I will say, I'm just glad we're still here. I was reading something that it was like most people, I was doing some research on something. I think like when you hit it on YouTube or something or a podcast. Anyway, but they were, I think it was YouTube and doing a YouTube channel. They were like, most people actually only do 7 episodes and they don't get past 7. they can't stick with it. They can't stay consistent. And so I went and looked at our hours, and we have over 50, of course, because we've been doing it, over a year. So I was like, wow, yay. I feel like we just crossed some type of threshold. And so the next one I wanna see is, or I probably need to kind of do some Google and research now that like we have a clear YouTube channel. Figure out how many views we need for maybe to eventually be monetized. Oh, that's what I was going to say. One of the things that I want us to do next year is take questions. And so maybe once a quarter, just have a question and answer day. So I don't know if that's people submitting questions to us and then we just one day a quarter we answer them, or if we want to have them put the questions in live. And so, but I do want us to get more feedback from the people, like what questions, and I think that'll help us both in our businesses because we'll hear what people are struggling with. We'll hear, so we can tailor the content more toward them. So, yeah. And if y'all are out there now and y'all feel like, if y'all are more advanced in podcasting, or anything, and y'all feel like we need to add something to the list for 2025, feel free to send us a DM either one of us, and we'll add it to the list. So, so far, we have become much more serious organization, and I think the organization will feel that when I bring Q in. All right. And then more visibility. So we'll both need to kind of put our heads together and come up with, when you think about more visibility, talk to me about what that means.
So for instance, the whole marketing side of it, we should be actually, like you do a great job at getting our short together. And I'll be on my feet and we'll pop up and talking.
Ain't that nice? Stuff. That's social media, girl. That's cute. The social, even I say it, it's like, oh, we said that.
Exactly. So in the moment, it's like you want to post it or save it and post it for the right time. So I'm not in the habit of I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, but I'm like, oh, I need to post that on such and such day when I talk about like imposter syndrome, for instance, like on Tuesdays. So, because you want to be intentional and strategic as possible on social. Sometimes it's okay to be random, but sometimes you need it just in a certain place. So, I mean, to have stuff on spot and know where to put it so that you can get more eyes and ears and comments on it, more feedback. And just knowing that every week, I'm definitely reposting the video. And whenever the time is right, if it's a certain topic, like I honestly would love to know, like, each one that we've done, so that I will know when it's the right time to put it in a certain spot, so I need to go through and kind of study, like you said, study all the lists, because, I have most of them except for I think the ones for this year, because I got all the ones from 23, right? You already sent those, you shared those in a document.
I think it was probably in a folder, and you should have access to that folder and have access to everything.
Everything now. Yeah. So,
but if you don't, let me know.
I'm sure I do. It's the same folder. So just going in there and knowing where to pick from and just putting it out there. And then now we have another topic, And I'm going to tell you this too. This is a revelation that came to me as of recent. I think people need to understand, like, your channels, like your social media channels, your pages where you show up, like, that's your home, like, that's your space. And you get to curate that however you want. So when people come into your space, like, whatever you want them to see and feel, and whatever you want them to experience when they walk away from you, like, that's up to you based off what you put out there on that page. And I think a lot of people aren't taking that as serious.
Gotcha.
So when they come on, you want them to stay on as long as they can.
Right.
And feel comfortable and feel good about watching and sharing. Like, y'all, Come over
Yeah.
here. Come over
Yeah.
here to Natalie's house. Come over. Cherise was over at Natalie's today. And girl, they
Yeah.
were talking about such and such. And
Mm-hmm.
you need to listen. We want shareable content.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important. But if you're not sharing your content, how somebody else gonna share it?
That's true. That's so
You
good and
know?
true. So I want to take a minute and I want to kind of pivot and I want to tell you guys exactly how this podcast gets put up. All
Mhm.
right. So first of all, Cherise and I just record. We record the Zoom. I record the Zoom. So she gets it's automatically set up in the calendar. So she gets a Zoom invite from my system, a Zoom invite. We use Acuity. So she gets a Zoom invite from Acuity every week. And that should be coming to you, I think, on Sunday. So that you
Mhm.
got a 2-day
Yep.
reminder. And you might do you get a text message on Monday?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So that's what she gets. And then we show up and it's on Zoom. Okay. And
Mhm.
we just hit record. We also, so that we go live, we use Restream. Restream. So I think they have a free component on Restream because I think we're on two different channels. Like she's on Facebook and it's her, and I'm on
Mhm.
LinkedIn as me. I think we had to go to the paid one. So we do
Mhm.
that. And then when I record it to a Dropbox file, a Dropbox file.
Mhm.
And my social media girl has the link to that file. So she goes into the file and pulls up the video. And then from there, she cuts it into pieces and then posts this on my social media um, using Metricool.
Mhm.
I know we use Metricool. And so does she send you a video clip or we just post on mine and then you see it on your feed?
I see it on my feed.
Okay,
And
cool.
they maybe I think there have been some times where it was in my DM, but I
Mm-hmm.
mainly see it on the feed,
On the
which is
feed.
fine.
So, okay, so that's how it goes. I don't know if y'all remember, but and two things I got to tell y'all. Thank you about the workshops, but I don't know if y'all remember, but at the beginning we were recording, and I had all of these recordings just sitting on my hard drive.
Mhm.
Okay, two things about that. If y'all are gonna do recordings like these, they will eat up the memory on your computer like nothing else in the world. So have them be stored on an
Oh yeah.
external hard drive or in Dropbox, something like that.
Mhm.
So it doesn't eat up the memory on your computer because it'll shut your computer down. You won't be able to do anything. You like,
Mhm.
okay. So that was the thing that I learned. And then I don't know if y'all remember, it took a while to figure out how we were going to get the podcast up. So at the beginning, we just recorded. And it was just sitting in the file. Eventually, I found a social media person and I got Q off of Upwork. She's in South Africa. And so that at a pay rate that worked for me. I think when she initially started with me, she was like $10 an hour.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so we've been since increased her because at this point she's been with me. I think we just made a year in November or something.
Okay.
And so I
Mhm.
love the work that she's done and everything. So I'm really excited about her. So moral of the story is we didn't have it together or all figured out when we started. And so stop trying to be perfect, people. Just start.
Yep.
Like
So.
fix it in the mix. Get better in the mix. Just fix it in the mix. But you got to start and you'll get it figured out. And it's okay if it takes time to figure it out. I think I want to say maybe we had like 6 months or 7 months of recordings maybe before they actually started seeing the light of day. Like we were
Yeah,
going
for
live,
sure.
but we
Mhm.
had them because when she started, I had to have her like catch up to today.
Yeah.
And so she
Mhm.
was posting 2 videos a week
Mhm.
for a while when
Mhm.
we started just to kind of get us caught up.
Yeah.
So again, I gave y'all all the tools that we use
Yeah.
so you can start too. And I
Yeah.
think I want you to know some kind of basic things about podcasting. I did read 3 or 4 books on podcasting.
Mhm.
All of the books said you need to be doing your podcast at least 3 years before you can expect it to take off.
Mm.
All right. So
Mhm.
know that the first 3 years of podcasting is just in the hole. Like it's just in the hole. With that, I think you develop your rhythm, you develop your voice. Cherise and I started at 9 p.m. at night.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that.
Right. And then we had to go for 9 p.m. and 9 a.m., which I feel like we've been much more consistent with the 9 a.m. morning than we were the 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So we had to make that tweak.
Yeah.
And so I feel like so many people are like, well, I don't know, or I can't get started, or, we don't have this yet, or we don't have this yet. We didn't have a website. We didn't have any, like I just put up the website or the link to the YouTube page. And so, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Okay. So anyway, no, it's okay. It's okay. Girl, clearly you're visiting a friend, what you said. So what I was saying is, like, just start, y'all, and fix it in the mix. Like, just start and get it started. And then you can sit there a year and a half later and say, okay, how do we make it better? How do we tweak? How do we tweak? And so now that we have this under our belt, and we work in our numbers, I think at the 3-year mark, we might be ready to start looking for sponsorships or something like that and start making some money. But we're still there. We're still working. So I want, I always want people to have like practical steps to take away, like, what are they using? What are they doing? And so Restream, Dropbox, we're going live. It is a paid for. I think those are all of the tools. That I use.
Also, let me say to the Facebook family, I'm on my phone today, so I can't see you. So I don't see your comment. So definitely keep commenting and supporting the other people who come on. Just hold us down while I'm not there. And I'll come in and I'll comment and reply once the podcast is over today. But I also would like to talk a little bit real quick about our pivots when we made that pivot from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. It was just a conversation one day. We were tired. By 9 p.m., we were tired on Tuesday. Because how Monday, and busy and crazy. And by the time we get to Tuesday night, it's crazy. And things were coming up, and there was a lot more time, but I just don't feel like getting back up to it, whether it's emotionally, physically, whatever it was. And we just said, hey, let's try this 9 a.m. Like, we have 9 a.m. and we have been moving very consistently. I'm super proud of for showing up for each other consistently. Because people fall off easy.
Right.
People can't easily say, because I was concerned with myself. Like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to show up for this lady all the time?
I'm here. Coming to check on you for today.
I've been feeling like, because there are some times when I say feeling like,
right,
just don't feel like being involved in it. When I say I have been really energized and excited about every time we show up, even if there's stuff going on. It's like, because we talk personally.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Like, I think last week I had such an emotional day. Like, I almost just stopped crying on y'all. But I held it down. But I was able to talk about it. And that's what I love about we together. And that's what I really want. People to understand. Like, if you're concerned about doing it on your own, ask your mama. Ask, somebody to get on with you to start it.
Right. For me in particularly, I want to say a couple of different things. Let's see. I think, again, I want to say y'all just start. And also, I want you to know what the purpose of your podcast is. Okay. So research different niches, research what you want your podcast to do, research if you need a partner, what's going to be the best fit for you. So I think what worked for us is our industries are similar but not the same. So we can talk about the same topics and they're relevant to all of our people. And yet then we can make those little tweaks that's individual for our people. So I really like that. Well, I really love that about us. And so I want to encourage anybody, if you're thinking about doing a podcast, find a partner that's similar but not the same, that can be really parallel for you. Also, the reason for the podcast is different for different people, and probably also depends on where your business is. And so some podcasts are just for your clients to get to know you better. You just want, and so you're not trying to go for 10,000 views. You just want warm leads so that when people come to your website and they get to know you from another situation, they can come to your podcast and then feel like they know you. I don't want to give you because you want to build that know you, like you, trust you, believe you have the solution to their problem. Because when they're ready, they'll come back to you. And so know that. I think also other thing I want people to remember with podcasting is there are always these are statistics, and the statistics hold true the same with podcasting. 1% of the people actually put out content. 9% of the people comment on content that's put out there. And we still got 90% of people who are lurking in the background. And so even though you feel like nobody commented or nobody's following me, somebody is. Like, it's 90% of the people aren't going to comment. They're just going to consume your content and keep it moving. And I know I do that with some people's podcasts. They probably don't know what I'm listening because I'm listening when I'm in the car, when I'm driving to Florida, when I'm doing this, I'm listening and I'm getting to know them, even though they have no idea I exist in the world. And so that's going to be the case with your podcast as well. So those are the reasons for doing it. So, okay. Yeah, we got 10 minutes left. What else is coming up for you?
Okay, so speaking to what you were saying about showing up anyway, it's your commercial, it's your business card, like it's your personal one-on-one. However you present yourself to people. So if people want to hear about a certain topic that you speak on more, they can go through your page and say, "Oh, I want to hear her talk about such and such." There's one of my clients has the OBGYN who I saw on TikTok. And I was like, "Oh gosh, I love this." I sent it to her. She said, "Oh, that's my OBGYN." Guess what? I'm booking with her.
Oh, wow.
Because she said, "Oh, yeah, that's my girl." I said, "Ask her if she's taking new patients." And she's like, she said she is. So it's that simple. That's networking.
Yeah.
And you know what that is? What else that is? That's network marketing. That is marketing within the network. Okay, so it's so important that you put your information out there because someone needs to hear it. It was just a simple, I just literally sent that because I thought it was great information. I sent it to my client and a few other people. It was her. I'm sorry if I went away. I don't know if I did, but someone called my phone.
It was a quick blink.
Okay, good. So that's networking. Don't despise the small networking and touch the touch. I'm a huge believer in high touch networking, which means I want to know you. Like when I was at the I had fallen in love with emceeing these events because I get to meet the people one-on-one. I get to interview the vendors. Right?
Yeah.
So now I'm building relationships with the vendors that are coming over and over again. So now they talk to me and they say, "Hey, make sure you let them know this, that, and the other." And then, girl, I'm building a client list as well. Because they're like, "Okay, so what is it that you do?"
Yeah. Say that. Oh, that's so good.
So, and that was over 200 people. Over 200 people. So I absolutely came in contact with each and every person. But not just the vendors, but the shoppers. Yeah. And I definitely locked in with a good 50.
Yeah.
And that was my goal. You need to know 50 new people when you walk away from here. So I just covered a week of networking and 5 hours on a Sunday.
Wow. Oh my God, that's excellent. Like when that's so excellent. That's so excellent. Yeah. That's making me feel like next year one of our topics needs to be kind of old school network marketing, which is simply getting out there, meeting people, figuring out where to meet people at. Because when I teach my coaching clients, we always talk about online and offline. What you're going to do for marketing online, what you're going to do offline. And so I think we might need to do an episode where we talk about all the offline marketing that we do.
For sure. So I have one more question, one quick question.
No,
when you think of network marketing, what do you think of?
Mary Kay. But but now when I think of network marketing, I just think about growing your network, like actually meeting people and engaging with people. Yeah.
Well, I think that network marketing is so connected with pyramids. You know, the pyramid businesses like a Mary Kay, and like all the other network. It's another name. I can't think of it right now. Anyway, the pyramid businesses, which really, now that we are in business and we're real true entrepreneurs, we know that actually you should have probably gotten to one of those businesses so you could have learned the process. Because now I'm mad at me because of the opportunities that I didn't take to just at least learn how to network aggressively.
If anybody has an opportunity to get into Mary Kay, I ain't even saying you got to sell the stuff, but she has a library of sales information. Like I remember it was this one like sales cassette that you could listen. This is because Mary Kay for me was like years and years ago. But that's where I learned that a yes is a maybe is a no, and then of course a no is a no. But that's where I learned. So you can predict your numbers off of who said yes, who said maybe, who's coming. And so those network marketers have some good quality sales skills, presenting skills, presentation skills, all of that. Hindsight being 2020, if I would have mastered it, I would have been better in business now.
Yeah. And my aunts were Mary Kay, that they were driving around their pink cars and everything, and I just thought it was old school, and I don't want to do that. I feel like a fool now because I should have let them ladies train me. I should have let my aunt train me, if nothing else, sales. So, you know, you live and you learn. But I'm on it now. I'm on it because I realize we're not gonna thrive out here if we don't know sales and marketing.
Right, just the basics and the difference between sales and marketing. Brian Tracy, I know I love him. He's like my, secret hero coach. But he was saying how one year he spent so much time marketing that he wasn't making sales. And so he had to learn, the difference between sales and marketing. You want to definitely get your name out there. You want to definitely have people know you, but you got to have a process for after you get that exposure, converting them into actual sales. And so I thought that was real good. So much to learn, and thank God we still got breath in our bodies to learn it. So, closing thoughts, my dear, closing thoughts.
Well, so this is the last day
of the year. Yes, we are done with.
I didn't realize it. So, I just want to, let everyone know we love you. And thank you for supporting us. Thank you for showing up with us. Continue to support and share. Go back and listen to as many as the old podcasts as you possibly can. And because there's some good stuff on there. And I'm excited for all of us for 2025. I know it's a shift that has happened. And I cannot wait to see everyone show up in it.
That's exciting. That's so good.
It is.
I've been hearing a lot lately because I've been talking to people about doing their goals and reviewing 2024 and what are the lessons we learned and everything. And I've been hearing a lot about people didn't do as well in 2024 as they wanted, or as well as 2023. And so I want to remind y'all as we leave, business is a process. Most businesses are not profitable year after year after year. You have up years and down years. That is part of being in a business. That is why most businesses only have 10% to 25% growth. Because some years are going to be lower, we may have lost. Some years may be, gangbusters. Know that. So just want to remind you guys that kind of separate your emotions from your business. I need you to understand a business is supposed to go up and down over years. It's not, you need to be looking at the 10-year plan and how did your business do across the 10 years? And it should be some ups and some downs. So I definitely want people to know that. I was talking to a lady yesterday and she was saying how she feels like she's behind and she's not moving forward. And so I want to encourage you guys, everybody, if you're feeling behind, if you're not feeling moving forward, you're not stuck, to really sit down and write out what's going on. What do you think you're supposed to be doing? What exactly does that look like? Get the numbers behind it, put some dates to it, and then you'll realize, okay, I'm not where I thought I was. But until you write it down, it's just this big, ambiguous boogeyman monster that's attacking you and weighing you down. So get clear and write that down. And then make sure you're writing down your plans for 2025. Like I want you writing them down. And if anybody, I put this out to my personal friends, but I put it out to you guys because some of us need accountability. Okay. So if y'all out there and you're listening to me and you need accountability, then do this. I'll give you 10 days to get your goals for 2025 written down and submitted to me. And so if anybody out there needs a little bit of accountability, like I need to have a due date and I need to have it due to somebody, then I'm going to challenge you guys by 11:59 on December 28th, 2024 to have your goals for 2025 with me. To me. You can DM me on LinkedIn. You can find me on, don't do Facebook. DM me on LinkedIn because I'm in my LinkedIn DMs all the time. And if you need to email me, DM me and get my email address. But my email address is probably on LinkedIn too. But DM me on LinkedIn.
Can you post a reminder on your LinkedIn?
Yes, I'll post a reminder on my LinkedIn. So by 11:59 on December the 28th, you need to have your 2025 goals into me. For those of you guys who want somebody to keep them accountable. Okay. I will read your goals. If they are not detailed enough, I'm going to send them back to you and I'm going to say, okay, detail this. You don't have a number for this. When is this supposed to happen? So for example, if you say, I'm going to go on vacation, my goal is to go on vacation in 2025. Excellent. Give me the dates. Then give me the cost of that vacation, and then tell me how you gonna make that money for that vacation. That's what I'm gonna send back to you. Like when. So I will save $5,000 by June 1st to go on my trip to Thailand on July 1st. Like I want specifics. I want you looking at it. I want you to just getting very detailed. So, okay. Yeah. That's it, people. I wish you the best. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, all the holiday season.
Happy all things.
Yep. And just know I'm wishing y'all the best.
All right. Thank you.
See you in the new year, Cherise.
All right. You can
all right, bye.
Audio Jungle.